The summer of 2025 will be remembered for a shockwave from Washington, D.C., a moment when the nation's capital became the epicenter of a crisis that would ripple through every corner of American science and innovation. It was a decision that shook the very foundations of American scientific ambition, sending tremors through institutions that had long stood as pillars of progress and hope. In July, the Trump administration proposed slashing NASA's budget from $24.9 billion to $18.80 billion, a staggering 24% cut, the lowest in decades. The announcement sent shockwaves through the scientific community, raising urgent questions about the future of American space exploration. This wasn't just a budget trim, it was a statement that questioned the value of exploration and scientific inquiry. For many, it felt like a turning point, a moment when the nation's commitment to discovery was suddenly in doubt. For generations, NASA has been a beacon of innovation and discovery, inspiring us to look beyond our horizons. Its missions have united Americans in awe and pride, fueling dreams in classrooms and laboratories across the country. The proposed cuts threaten to dim that beacon, risking a future where America retreats from the frontier it once led. The silence in mission control rooms echoed a growing uncertainty about what comes next. The science budget, the heart of NASA's mission, faced nearly a 50% cut, threatening a dark age for planetary science, astrophysics, and Earth observation. Entire research teams braced for layoffs, and projects years in the making teetered on the edge of cancellation. The impact stretched far beyond NASA's walls, affecting students, educators, and the next generation of explorers who wondered if their dreams would ever take flight. The 2025 proposal forced a painful national conversation. Would America still lead in the 21st century or abandon the journey to the stars? The answer, many realized, would define not just a budget, but the very soul of a nation built on reaching for the impossible. The most immediate consequence wasn't canceled missions, but the dismantling of NASA's human infrastructure. Nearly 4,000 jobs, almost 29% of NASA's workforce, were targeted for elimination, gutting decades of expertise. A deferred resignation program, reportedly influenced by Elon Musk, pushed over 2,000 senior experts out the door. The result, a catastrophic brain drain, with irreplaceable knowledge lost for generations. Morale plummeted as teams were torn apart and young engineers saw their dreams deferred. The vibrant spirit of innovation was replaced by uncertainty and fear. This hollowing out of NASA's intellectual capital is a national security risk, weakening America's technological core. The true cost will be measured in discoveries never made, and leadership surrendered to rivals. With funding slashed, NASA faced a grim triage, deciding which missions to abandon. 41 current missions, nearly a third of NASA's science portfolio, were suddenly at risk. The Mars sample return, a flagship international effort, teetered on the brink of collapse. The Lunar Gateway, key to sustainable lunar presence, faced funding jeopardy, throwing long-term exploration into chaos. Even icons like Hubble and the James Webb Space Telescope faced possible shutdowns, threatening to blind us, just as we began to see the universe clearly. Earth science programs, vital for weather, agriculture, and disaster response, were on the chopping block. In seeking savings, the proposal threatened to dismantle the very tools we rely on to understand and protect our world. The budget crisis forced a radical shift in America's human spaceflight strategy. The administration signaled early retirement for the SLS rocket and Orion spacecraft after Artemis III, abandoning a decade of investment. The alternative, a risky pivot to commercial options like SpaceX's Starship, still in development. This gamble threatened to upend the Artemis roadmap and create chaos among international partners. The International Space Station's future was thrown into doubt, risking the loss of a multi-billion-dollar asset and a symbol of global cooperation. The debate isn't just about rockets, it's about whether government should lead in pioneering the unknown. The proposed pivot risked turning NASA from a leader into a mere customer, trading resilience for volatility. America's deep space ambitions now hung in the balance. The administration's assault on NASA's budget ignited a rare bipartisan firestorm on Capitol Hill. For once, lawmakers from both sides of the aisle found themselves united in outrage, recognizing that the stakes were far greater than a simple funding dispute. The future of American leadership in space exploration, science, and technology was suddenly at risk. House Democrats accused NASA's leadership of illegally implementing cuts before Congress acted, setting up a constitutional clash. Republicans too voiced concern, warning that bypassing legislative authority threatened the very checks and balances that underpin American democracy. The media swarmed outside, capturing the growing tension as the story dominated headlines. NASA officials, caught in the crossfire, defended the realignment as necessary for efficiency and focus. But their explanations failed to calm the workforce's anger and anxiety. Many scientists and engineers feared for their jobs, and morale plummeted as uncertainty spread through the agency's halls. A controversial order to halt press releases on new science was seen as an attempt to silence NASA's own value. Critics argued that this move not only stifled transparency but also undermined public trust in the agency's mission and achievements. Congress pushed back, drafting bills to restore funding and even add $10 billion to protect threatened programs. Lawmakers worked late into the night, determined to safeguard the nation's scientific future, and send a clear message that NASA's work was not up for negotiation. The scientific community united, with all living former NASA science chiefs warning that the cuts would cede leadership to China. Their open letter, signed by Nobel laureates and pioneers of space exploration, called on the nation to remember the spirit of discovery that once put Americans on the moon. Their message was clear: this isn't just about budgets, but about America's role in the world and its commitment to innovation. The debate became a rallying cry for those who believe that exploration and scientific progress are essential to the nation's identity. The battle for NASA's soul became a defining moment for the nation's future, a test of whether America would continue to lead the world in science and exploration, or retreat from the frontier that has always inspired its people. As America debated dismantling its space program, China surged ahead. While NASA faced layoffs and cancellations, China celebrated its Tiangong space station and planned its own Mars sample return. The potential loss of the Mars sample return mission would hand China a Sputnik-like victory. As Artemis faltered, China's lunar ambitions continued, raising the prospect of the next moon landing bearing a red flag. Space leadership brings technological, economic, and military advantages. Retreating means losing influence over the future of space governance. Former NASA chiefs and bipartisan leaders warned, this is about national destiny, not just budgets. Ceding the high ground signals a loss of vision and ambition. The 2025 crisis was the greatest threat to America's space leadership in modern history. The crisis of 2025 is a stark reminder of what's at stake. In a world where uncertainty looms and priorities shift, the decisions we make today will echo for generations. The future is not guaranteed. It is shaped by our courage to act, to invest, and to dream beyond the horizon. NASA is more than an agency. It's the embodiment of human curiosity and a driver of our future. It stands as a testament to our relentless pursuit of knowledge, our willingness to take risks, and our hope for a better tomorrow. Every mission, every discovery, pushes the boundaries of what we know and what we believe is possible. Slashing its funding is turning our back on a legacy of innovation and the grandest questions of existence. It means closing doors to new discoveries, halting progress, and losing the momentum built over decades. The cost is not just scientific. It's a loss of inspiration, of opportunity, and of national pride. The thousands of engineers and scientists at NASA are a national treasure, fueling both our cosmic journey and our economic strength. Their work leads to breakthroughs that touch every aspect of our lives, from medical technology to climate science, and even the devices we use every day. Investing in NASA inspires millions and secures our place as a leader in science and technology. It lights a spark in the next generation, encouraging young minds to reach for the stars and believe that anything is possible. Our commitment to exploration is a promise to our children and to the world. The path forward demands stable, sufficient funding, and a balanced strategy that leverages both national systems and commercial innovation. By working together, public and private, government and industry, we can achieve more than any one entity alone. Collaboration is the key to unlocking the next era of discovery. We must resist short-term thinking and stand united in support of exploration and discovery. Our shared vision for the future requires resilience, determination, and a belief in the power of collective action. Together we can overcome any obstacle and reach new heights. The universe is calling, filled with wonders and challenges yet to be met. Each unanswered question is an invitation to explore, to learn, and to grow as a civilization. The cosmos offers endless opportunities, but only if we have the vision to pursue them. Our future in space, and as a beacon of progress on Earth, depends on the choices we make now. Let us choose boldly, invest wisely, and ensure that the legacy of exploration continues to inspire and uplift humanity for generations to come.